you're with us. Now today, the National Resistance Movement celebrated its 33rd NRM anniversary. A lot has been said in regard to the accomplishments and what has not been achieved. So today we host Andrew Barungi in the studio, who is a writer and also a commentator on social issues. We want to understand his take. We want to understand what you actually make out of what happened today. So first, my question is, actually before I ask you my first question, welcome to the studios today. Thank you for coming through. Yes. So today we celebrated our 33rd NRM Liberation Day. What is your take home out of today?
A few things to note. The fact that the president kept on highlighting education.
Education.
Yeah, so I don't think he was happy with his critics, noting that education hasn't been, a success. So he had to reiterate what he has done. So he had to, scoff at his critics. Yes. So I think that was the highlight. Another issue was that he had to make it clear that he has not forgotten about what he has not accomplished and he's still working on it. So it would appear that he's not happy with his critics, but he's also getting back at them.
Indirectly.
Yeah. Yes.
So basically he actually talked a lot about education, and we also see him launching the 20 years of UPE, a book that shows the successes and the challenges. But before we even go to that, so now we have we've celebrated, 33 years. 33 years later, we are still celebrating NRM, Liberation Day. Of what relevance is that?
The question should be relevance to whom?
I know.
Yeah, there's a large based on the election results. Would say it's relevant to 66% of the population who voted NRM, but the remainder, it's not relevant.
Okay. In general, we would like to understand, do you think celebrating, because so many people were in high gear for this particular event, do you think it's relevant at all? At least in what percentage is it relevant to the Ugandan population? The same way we celebrate Christmas, what is the relevance?
Well, Christmas is, if we are to be charitable, Christmas is a neutral holiday. It doesn't belong to any political party, if you will. The Liberation Day, from a perspective point of view, belongs to the NRM. So those who are anti-NRM think it's a waste of time. But of course, it's important to remember the violent history preceding the takeover by NRM. So many supporters of NRM, or should I say neutral observers, would say that prior to 1986 it was violent. You all know about the stories or cliches, if you will, about assassinations, violence, etc. But so people talk about stability, some people, but it's still not enough. Many people do not feel that they have security. Another thing, many would highlight impressive economic growth. Question, has it trickled down? So, yes, granted, 33 years of liberation, but how many people are enjoying that liberation? Granted, there might be peace in Uganda, but the question is, but it's so important to note, peace is not the absence of war. There's still many people who are very angry, not happy with the current conditions.
So you say other people may not be happy with the current conditions. Are you personally happy about the current conditions?
I think things could be much, much better. There seems to be many issues as far as governance is concerned. It's not good enough to settle for cosmetics, if you will, impressive economic growth rate. There's a lot of corruption. And that puts a country in a pretty volatile position. So the country could do much, much, much better.
So you also equally observed that he talked a lot about education. Now in the addition of the successes of UPE, the president having launched this book, we want you to slightly detail for us some of the successes and the challenges of UPE.
Well, let's look at it from a quantitative point of view. Enrollment has improved, it has increased. So many people, the illiteracy has also improved. So those are the positives. But let's talk now. The challenges is quality. These children getting quality education. Yeah. How many of them drop out? Or how many proceed to secondary school or university. So quantity is not enough, or quantitative statistics will not be satisfied to all of us. We have to think about quality. What happens next? So you start in P1 and you're unable to complete school. So, and do these children or pupils have the requisite skills to take them to the next stage? So it's not enough to talk about enrollment. There has to be more.
So 20 years, again, I want to take you back to that question. What do you make of the whole initiative? Do you think Uganda would be better without it, or you think it's actually much better with the initiative?
The UP initiative?
Yes.
That's a difficult question. Prior to UPE, from my understanding, many, let's say our parents' generation, they had quality education. Even those who stopped at primary school, even though they did not go beyond primary school, you could tell that they had quality education. The level of English was good compared to the current situation. So granted, you know, it's good that more children are enrolling. They have relatively free access, but it's not enough. So it could be better. So like I said earlier, and I want to reiterate, it's good enough. It's good that more pupils are enrolling, but there has to be more than that. Will they get the skills? Focus on the student-teacher ratio. It should be we should strive for 1 to 50, but at times you witness one teacher teaching 200 students or pupils. So there's still issues. And let's not forget the urban-rural divide. Yeah, rural folks are at a disadvantage, so there's a lot to do. Okay,
you talk of a lot that needs to be done. Continue to point for us areas that you think need improvement. I know you've talked of rural areas that, you know, need a lot to be done, but what do you think can be done exactly to benefit all Ugandans?
Well, you have to invest in education, because if you don't have a literate population, then you're going to have trouble. But it's not enough to invest. How is that money managed? You have to ensure that teachers are not absent, or students are attending classes. So one has to be vigilant. Yeah. So a lot has to be done. So it's not enough to invest. And there's another thing. It's important to note that the president did say that, you know, well, he indirectly said that he has to deal with the opportunity cost, education versus infrastructure.
Yes.
So which one will benefit the country more, education or infrastructure? That's a rhetorical question, of course.
Yes. Thank you so much, Andrew, for coming to our studios. We're so glad that you could come to join us and, of course, give us your views. And that was Andrew, a commentator and a writer. So that was Talk of the Nation. Let us now go in to our responses to our poll question.